Hi ladies, how are you all? Hope you're all doing really well. So we are falling into the second week of the 16 days of activism, raising awareness for domestic violence towards women and young girls. So again, this week our theme will be kind of orange food, orange looking food, because the theme of these 16 days of activism is orange as well. Right, so I'm not sure if you're already aware, but today I will be making a sweet potato and egg curry. And so I want you to go through and show you how easy and simple it is. You've got the protein through the eggs, you've got the fibre through the sweet potatoes, you've got the lovely spice through the curry taste, and it's just a really divine and easy dish to do. So the base is very similar to what you would do to make a normal curry. So we're going to be cutting up some onions, sauteing them in some oil. I'm going to be using olive oil, adding some chopped tomatoes, adding some spices, making a base of a curry mixture, and then we're going to add in some sweet potato. We're going to chop them into small pieces, add the sweet potato, let them kind of stew in there, and then we're going to boil some boiled eggs. Now you're not going to fully boil them, just half boil them, because they are going to further cook in the curry as well. So I'm going to put these for to boil. Meanwhile, we're going to start cutting our onions and our potatoes and get our curry base going. Okay, so I'm going to start off with chopping some onions. Now remember, because this base is going to be blended in the mixture to form like a paste form, you don't need to worry about the onions being too fine. As long as they kind of cook evenly, that's the main thing. Right. So I'm going to put these in a pan, and I'll take you to the cooker in a bit, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using some extra virgin olive oil instead of normal sunflower oil, and sauteing them in like about 5 tablespoons of olive oil. So our onions are now frying and our eggs are on the boil. So things are rolling, and now we're going to just get on cutting the tomatoes. Now you can use tomato pulp or chopped tomato tin if you like, but I just want this curry to be kind of rich in its curry taste, so that's why I'm using fresh tomatoes. But again, the choice is entirely yours. Now there's a trick if you want to get a thicker taste in your curry, like a thicker sauce. You can add tomatoes, and you can add yogurt as well. So yogurt kind of gives it a thick kind of base. Now that's done. We also need to add some garlic and ginger. As you know, garlic and ginger is one of the main ingredients for a curry paste. Now, instead of using fresh garlic and ginger today, I'm going to be using some frozen. This is really easy to find in any Asian superstore, any Asian supermarket, even our big supermarkets like Asda and Tesco, just in the world food aisle. So I'm just going to get 1 cube. Don't need more than 1 cube. And that's going to go in with the tomatoes, with the onions. Right, so the onions are frying really well. They're almost half brown, and at this point I'm going to add in the tomatoes, the onion garlic paste, and I'm also going to add the spices in as well. So I want the spices to kind of form their colour and develop their taste. So here we go, here's our spices. They look so nice in vibrant colours. Right, and in goes our spices. And now we're going to mix this for about 10 minutes on low heat. You can put the heat on low. Our eggs are boiling there, and we're going to stir this and cook this for about 5 minutes on low heat. Now while the curry paste is cooking, we are going to start peeling our sweet potato. Now I always tell you never to peel the sweet potato, but in this situation I will, because I just think maybe it's not in season, or maybe they were overripe, but I just feel like the skin on these sweet potatoes is slightly overripe, and I just don't want it to give a bitter taste to the curry. Otherwise, I wouldn't normally peel the sweet potatoes, and you know how strict I am on that. Okay. So this is my least favourite job, which is cutting sweet potato, because it's very hard, but it's fine. Okay. But sweet potato doesn't take that long to cook, which is a good thing. You know, unlike we were going to add in normal potatoes. Right, so let's get cracking with our sweet potato. I'm going to cut them in like kind of triangles. I'm not sure whether this is, angled. I just find it easier, there's no other reason. Okay. Right, before we carry on, let's just check on our curry paste. Looking really, really good. Sizzling away. Right, 2 more minutes and we're going to take it off the heat. Let it cool down and put it in the blender. Let's carry on with our sweet potatoes. Okay. You can cut them in any shape or size you like, entirely up to you. Whatever you think will look good in your curry, really. Some of these are probably a little bit big, so I'll cut them in half. Oops. Right. Yeah, like these ones. Because if they're going to be very big, you can have big and small sizes, then they're not going to kind of cook in time. And that's the last thing you want. So I'm going to carry on just cutting these potatoes. Make sure that there's not too big ones, not too small ones. That should be fine. Right. That's it. Potatoes are done. Right, now we're going to get our curry paste and put it in the blender. It's kind of cooled down a little bit. It's still a bit hot, but it's okay. I've got a good blender. Otherwise, you should wait. You should generally wait for it to cool down a little bit. And if it's still really hot, then maybe just put a few drops of cold water. Just you don't want your blender to kind of steam up. Okay, that's that. Now here we go. Here is our curry paste. Lovely and in a pasty form, and how more orange can you get than that? So I'm going to put this back in the cooker, add a little bit of water, get it into a really nice kind of consistency, and then add in the sweet potatoes. Now I've added in some water. When you add in some water, you will notice there will be a slight colour change. So this has gone from pale yellow to kind of orangey, and that's really the kind of colour you want. Now I'm going to add in the sweet potatoes and let them cook. So in goes sweet potatoes. And it's been about 5 minutes, and already I can feel that the sweet potatoes are kind of half soft. They need another kind of 5 minutes, and I'm going to keep stirring them. So you want to keep stirring them. Our eggs are boiled, so I'm going to cut the eggs as well in half. But so far this looks really, really good. Alright, so I've put the eggs in a bath of cold water, because what this does, it kind of stops the process of the eggs continuing to boil, and it stops them from cooking any further. And that's what we want. So I'm going to get one by one and just peel them. Easy way to peeling them, just roll them on the worktop, and then the shell will easily come off, and you won't break any, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Right. There we go. So I'm just going to do that with the other 3 of them. Now once you have peeled your eggs, this is a very important step. You've got to make sure you do this, especially when you're adding egg to a curry. Get a toothpick and just poke some holes in the egg, maybe about 6 holes around everywhere. What this does is when you add the eggs in the curry, the curry is going to sink into the eggs, and then your eggs are actually going to have the curry taste inside as well. So all the spices and the onions, the garlic, ginger, all that blend, all that taste will go into the eggs as well, and that just gives it a really, really nice flavour. And when you cut the eggs, they will be nice and orange, and they will have the flavour as well. So as many holes that you can do without completely destroying the egg. And now we're going to add this into our curry. So here goes our sweet potato. The camera's steaming up, and we're going to add in, oopsie daisy, we're going to add in our eggs. Give them a good mix, and then can you see already the eggs, how the colours are changing? And that's what you want it to look like inside as well. So we're going to give this a good mix. And then I'm going to cover this back and let this simmer for another 5 minutes, and then we're going to be done. And then I'm going to plate up. Right, here we go. I have plated up now, and this just looks so good. So we've got the really nice sweet potato curry with our eggs. The eggs are soaked into the curry. They've sucked in all the lovely flavours. And we've got some basmati rice, which I boiled earlier, and I've put with the curry. And I'm just going to sprinkle some parsley or coriander, whatever you feel like doing. So I'm just going to do some parsley. I think parsley goes really, really well. And then I'm going to dig into this and tell you how good it tastes. This doesn't just look visually attractive to the eye, but I can tell it tastes really, really good as well. So I'm just going to get some rice, dip it with the curry, get some sweet potato in. Well, that tastes amazing, absolutely amazing. And you get to enjoy that vegetables and the protein. It's a complete triumph. It's amazing. So do try it at home and let me know how it goes. Take care. Bye bye.